All right, welcome back. So I want you to imagine something. A man comes home after being gone for years, but he's a total stranger. He's violent, he's angry, and he has absolutely no memory of who he was. That's the huge mystery we're unpacking today from the second episode of Senate and Chucklitter. Just who is this man that came back?
So, this one question, right? Who is Kamil? It's the engine for this whole episode. This guy, Kamil, shows up, but he's like a ghost in his own life. He doesn't know who he is, and his family, they definitely don't recognize the person he's become. It really makes you wonder, what makes you you? Is it your memories, your actions, or is it something else entirely?
And this is where it gets really wild. Just look at the difference here. His family remembers this meek, almost spineless guy they called Sumsuk Kamil. He was the kind of person you could just boss around, and he'd just quietly do it. But the man who's back now, he's the complete opposite. He's aggressive, he's confrontational, he's just a powder keg ready to go off. He has no idea who he is, and all that empty space has been filled with this dangerous, unpredictable rage.
Okay, so the doctors slap a clinical label on it, temporary amnesia. But that term doesn't even begin to cover the torment this guy is going through. He says it's like there's a wall inside his head, totally sealing him off from his own past. He's literally a man trapped in the present moment, with zero connection to the person he used to be. And that feeling of being disconnected, that's the source of all his violence.
So what does he do, trapped in this mental prison? Does he just sit around and wait for his memories to maybe possibly come back? Nope. He decides to go hunt them down, and he's ready to beat the answers out of anyone from his past. This isn't just a search for facts. It's a desperate, violent fight to get his own identity back. His first stop is this local tough guy, a man they call Saadi Dai. Kamil has this gut feeling, this instinct, that this man knows something about what happened to him. And, he's not exactly going to ask nicely.
And boom, this is the new Kamil in action. He threatens to rip the man's gold teeth right out of his mouth and go sell them at the Grand Bazaar. It's this specific, calculated cruelty that just shocks everyone, especially the people who knew the quiet guy he supposedly was. It's a total performance of power from a man who feels completely powerless.
And if you thought he was just talk, think again. He's not bluffing. He douses the man's business in gasoline, lighter in hand, totally ready to burn the whole place to the ground just to get one tiny piece of his past back. A man with nothing to lose is a very, very dangerous thing.
So, after all that, we actually get our first real clue. It turns out Kamil's disappearance is tied to some kind of property deal. Saadi Dai admits he was trying to force Kamil to sign over a deed. But his story, it just doesn't add up. He says when Kamil vanished, he just dropped it. Which, come on, that just makes the whole thing even more suspicious.
But here's the thing, it's not just about Kamil. This family was already a mess. His return is like throwing a lit match into a room that was already soaked in gasoline. He's just the spark that makes everything finally explode.
I mean, this family is a disaster, and it's all connected. You've got Baram, who gets beaten half to death trying to help his sister, and the trauma literally gives him a temporary English accent. Then there's his sister, Arife, who's been legally banned from seeing her own kids. And underneath all of this is this deep, simmering anger about their grandfather's will. And if you want to know where a lot of this anger comes from, you got to look at the will. The family patriarch, Adam Baba, was famously generous to everyone in the village. But when he died, he left a jaw-dropping 90% of his entire fortune to this total outsider, Sherif Bey, a guy who was basically just a hanger-on. His own grandkids, they got the scraps. No wonder they feel powerless.
Okay, so all of these different chaotic storylines, they're all about to collide at, of all places, a child's circumcision party. A party that the boy's own mother, Arith, is forbidden from even attending.
So the younger cousins decide they've had enough of this injustice. They hatch this, let's call it a plan. It's a chaotic and frankly completely terrible plan to dress up as clowns and a magician, sneak into the party, and kidnap the boy so he can see his mom. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, so the plan? It goes wrong, like immediately. The cousin dressed as a magician accidentally makes the kid disappear for real inside a prop box, and just as Arif is being physically thrown out of the hotel, who shows up? The one person who can actually fix this mess, the new and improved Kamil. And this is where he steps in.
He walks right up to RFA's ex-husband, Mumtaz, and delivers this chillingly specific threat. Touch my sister again and I'll replace your teeth with screwdrivers. It's pure, raw intimidation. And you know what? It works. He clears a path, and RFA finally gets to hug her children.
All right, the party drama is over, but the story isn't. The last part of the episode circles right back to our main mystery, and it drops some shocking new clues that make the puzzle of Kamil's identity even more complicated.
And then, bam! The story just completely flips on its head. Kamil's mother drops a bombshell. He had a twin brother. One baby, Kamil, was given to her. The other was declared dead, but was actually secretly sold to a rich man and given the name Iskender. This changes everything.
And right when your brain is trying to catch up with that news, a distraught man confronts Kamil at the hospital. But this man, Muhsin, doesn't see Kamil. He sees a ruthless businessman who ruined his life, and he calls him by a different name, Iskender, Büyük İskender.
So the episode leaves us hanging by a thread with two things happening at the exact same time. First, Muhsin has the man we know as Kamil cornered on the edge of a cliff, ready to get his revenge on Iskender. And at that very moment, Sheriff Bey, the guy who got all the inheritance money, is on the phone asking about the child he was given 35 years ago.
Which leaves us right here with this one massive question. Was a meek man put through something so traumatic that it completely rewired him into a ruthless fighter? Or is this guy an imposter, a long-lost twin with a violent past of his own, who has just stumbled into his brother's life? The clues point in two totally different directions. What do you think is going on? Let us know in the comments. And if you love diving deep into stories like this, make sure to like this video and follow the channel so you don't miss what's next.